My name is Maher Abiad, and I'm a Nolimitspreneur.
You're now locked onto another episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast, the show that helps you dominate in life and in business to enhance your mindset, confidence, productivity, time management, habits, and goals. And now, your host, Maher Abiad.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Maher Abiad. I definitely want to welcome you to this episode. This is going to be definitely inspiring, definitely uplifting, and definitely motivational because I want to help you with these podcast episodes change your life, break out of your shell, live a life without limits, and achieve greatness that you never thought possible. So I'm really excited for this one. So I want to start off by talking about our topic today. And we all know that fear is one of the greatest forces that holds us back as humans from accomplishing great things, from accomplishing success. We usually have fear, can come in different shapes, different forms. There's fear of failure. Obviously, when we grew up as kids, we went to school, and if we didn't get good grades, then we were failing. And we were thought to, led to believe that we would be unsuccessful in life. So we have this fear of failure that we always want to be perfect at everything. But one thing I've learned being an entrepreneur is fear, or failure, I should say, has been one of my greatest gifts. And I want to share a lot of failures and mistakes and blunders that I've made over my career and my life to help you through this podcast to help and better your life as well. So that's one type of fear, fear of failure. The next type of fear that exists is this fear of the unknown. And the problem with this is, oftentimes when we have decisions to make, a couple choices, which path in life do we go down? We get petrified. We get paralyzed. We don't even make a move because we want to make the right choice, obviously. But no choice and not deciding and being inactive and not taking that action causes more problems because you find yourself thinking and countering yourself and coming up with excuses. And then you realize time goes by and you haven't done anything. And that's really, really bad. And finally, the other fear that I really want to focus on today is the fear of the judgment of others. And having that fear of what other people may think about you. So let me start off by sort of defining what that fear of judgment is. We obviously want to have people approve of us. We want to always have that approval in life. And that's where a lot of problems can come up because then we end up living somebody else's life. We don't end up living our own life. So fear of this judgment is the thought in your mind of what somebody else is thinking about you or what they feel about you or how they perceive you or whatnot. You have this thought in your mind, what this other person is thinking. Now, here's the major problem with this, and this is one of the parts of the podcast today I really want you to take note of. You have this thought in your mind of what somebody might think about you, what somebody might be saying about you. And what that does, that creates your actions, you not being able to take action because of what other people may be thinking about you. Now, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. And as a society, because of this approval social media likes, instant gratification, this validation, we find ourselves living other people's lives. We do not live our own life because we get to the point where if we don't think that other people are going to approve, or we think that other people are going to judge us in some way or think differently of us, then we're not going to do the things that we know we should be doing. So that's one of the big topics I want to talk about, obviously, today. And it could be as little as, I'm going to use a couple extremes here. I like blue, you like green. So on one side of the extreme, let's make it really simple. So now, because we don't agree on this, and I don't like the color you like, then I may be fearful that you may judge me in a certain way. Very simple example, very basic. Because this is very important, because I want to highlight the other extreme, which is really, really, really important. And that's about, think of this scenario in this story. You have a mortgage. You have this piling debt. You have car payments, you have credit card payments, you have lines of credit, you have car loan. You have all these types of payments, and you're drowning in debt. And you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Now, instead of selling your house, getting something more affordable that you can afford to live in, downsizing the car, selling tons of that crap that you have, what most people decide to do is they have this fear of judgment of what other people are going to think about them. So they decide to carry on underwater, and they decide to not take a step back, to not pivot, to try to save themselves from drowning in this debt, which they shouldn't be in, just for the reason of impressing others, number one, and number two, to avoid that judgment of what people may think about them, and what they come up with these stories, this dialogue in their head of what people are going to say about me. If I start downsizing my house, I sell my house, and I have to come up with this story about why we're in debt and why we're underwater. And a lot of people can't live with that, but they can live with the fact that they are drowning and going into more and more debt. And that's really unfortunate. And that's one thing I really want you to kind of take note of how or what things you're doing right now that is creating that environment or allowing you to continue telling yourself these stories. So what are some things that can help you with breaking free from this fear? For so many years, I just always concerned myself with having approval from other people. And over the years, I've kind of developed a little bit more of a thicker and thicker skin. And over the years, I've kind of discovered that, you know what? Why am I afraid of what other people think about me? I came to the realization, this is something that if you haven't already come to this realization, you may come to this point in your life. And let me highlight it right now. It's that you cannot make everybody happy. You cannot impress everybody. And if you're going to be living your life trying to impress everyone, then you're going to impress no one. And that's something I definitely learned over the last few years is I'm trying to be a people pleaser when at the end of the day, I should be focused on doing what I do best. And right now, with this podcast, with my YouTube channel, with my books, with my workshops, with my blog, with my content, social media, I want to help as many people as possible. So for those that want to listen, for those that are motivated, for those that are inspired, for those that want to achieve this level of success that they know they deserve, they're definitely going to listen to what I want to, have to say. And those are the kind of people that I resonate with my message. And I want to help as much as I can by providing as much value by myself or the guests I bring on this show. So over the years, I've really realized that you can't impress everybody. You can't make everybody happy. You're going to piss off. You could be the nicest person on earth and somebody's going to think something about you negatively. Because that's just human nature. That's unfortunate, but that's just human nature. So what are some ways that I've learned to not really care so much, develop that sort of thick skin, and find out exactly what I do want in life? So number one is realizing that if I've ever experienced a fear of this rejection of other people and fear of, others not approving of me or judgment, it's because it may be a lack of confidence on the direction that you want to go in life. So what do I mean by this? I always say that you need a North Star. You need some purpose in life. You need a why. And that why has to be greater than you, has to be external from you. Because you need to have something to strive for that keeps you going. Willpower is never going to keep you going. We don't have enough of it. You have to have a purpose to keep going. And you have to have the confidence to know that that direction that you're headed in, that whether it's starting a new business, okay? And people are telling you, you know what? Don't start a business. Most businesses fail. What are you doing? You're crazy. Come on. Having that direction and that focus and that North Star to say, you know what? No, this is the path I want to go on. Or rekindling a relationship with a sibling that you haven't talked to in 2 years because you had a fight, and you feel judgment from other family members that if you do talk to them again, you've fallen down and you're not standing up for what you believe in. Instead of saying, you know what? No, this is getting ridiculous. Let me make amends. Let me be the better person. Let me take the first initiative. Let's continue the dialogue. Or even trying to be in your circle of friends, trying to maintain that coolness by smoking or continuing to drink when you know it may not be the best thing for your health. Things like this that you want to do in any aspect of your life. If you don't have that confidence, what's going to happen is you're going to derail and you're going to be looking for other people and you're going to be focused on their judgment to give you that approval on which direction that you're going to go in life. So instead of going on your track and staying in your lane, you're relying on other people's lanes to get you ahead in life or get you somewhere else in life. How does that make any sense? You need to be in your lane, and it's very, very important to have the confidence to say, you know what? This is where I want to go. This is the direction that I want to go in. And I know what I want. And that's going to allow you not to have that fear. Another one is that you don't need permission from anybody. At the end of the day, you know what you want in life. You know what your dreams, what your goals, what your aspirations are. And at the end of the day, you don't need somebody to tap you on the shoulder and say, you know what, I give you permission to do this. Because you don't need permission from anybody. If you're going to wait around for somebody to tap you on the shoulder, say it's okay now, then number one, it's not going to happen. Number two, you're not going to be living your own life. You're going to be living somebody else's life. And at the end of the day, you're going to be living like a robot, and that's not living. So it's really important to keep your head up, focus on your North Star. And in this example here, don't wait for permission from anybody. You don't need that extra validation. That's going to really help you clear up any sort of fear of judgment from other people. Another example I would say is a lot of times when we are so focused on other people's opinions, other people's judgments, where do we put ourselves? Not in our heads. We jump to their minds. We're trying to figure out what they're thinking. We try to create this telepathy that we can somehow control other people's minds. We jump to their mind and try to control what they think. And what happens is, number one, you're wasting a lot of time doing that because it's not going to help you. It's not going to get you anywhere. And number two, you're expelling so much mental energy that is just not going to help you get anywhere. So instead of focusing on other people and trying to change people's perspectives of you, you need to revert back to focusing on yourself. What can you control? You need to focus on what you're doing. And it all reverts back to the North Star again. Focus on what you're doing. What are the steps that you need to take to get to your goals? Look at what you want as your perfect life and then work your way backwards and ask yourself how I'm going to get there. And the only way you're going to achieve success is not by thinking or wasting your time worrying what other people are thinking about you. You're going to achieve success by taking action. You're going to achieve success by taking massive action in your entire life. Every day, I want you to focus on taking these little small steps because success happens over time. Success is not just a singular event. The unfortunate thing is we look at society today and we see sports athletes, musicians, actors and actresses, whatever the case may be, celebrities in these states of stardom. And we think that that is just a singular event, but we don't realize that that came from lots of rough days, a lot of struggles, a lot of consistency, a lot of persistence, a lot of waking up early and doing things that you don't want to do. And that's what's going to help you achieve your success in life. I don't want you to have a fear of judgment of what other people think about you or what you may think they're thinking about you, which then controls your actions and then prevents you from doing the things that you know you need to do. I'm going to leave off with an example. And this example is very, very powerful because it's really going to put things into perspective for you. And that's really, really important is perspective. Because unfortunately, in today's day and time, we get so focused on our routines, waking up in the morning, brushing our teeth, hopping in the car, going to work, doing our 8 hours, coming home, dinner with the family, watch TV, brush your teeth, go back to sleep, and on repeat. I want you to stop for a second, take a step back, and just really pay attention to this, what I'm about to say, because this will definitely put things into perspective, which is definitely going to help you start seeing things in a different light. And that's the whole thing about life. That's the whole thing about growing. That's the whole thing about achieving success. You have to continually grow. You can't achieve success by not changing. I always say, and I'll say it again, I'll say it day in and day out, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change, then you're going to still get the same results. So I want you to first imagine in one hand, in your left hand, let's say, you have this bottle, okay? And you're holding up this bottle in your left hand. And I want you to think about right now, what's this one thing that you really want to achieve in life, but you really have been struggling with? It may not be obvious, maybe after this podcast and listening to this, you realize it more and it becomes more obvious. What's something that's been holding you back by you fearing that a friend, a relative, a perfect stranger on social media might think about you? What's this one thing? Let's just focus on one right now. What's this one thing? And then you can apply this to other things in your life. What's one thing that's been holding you back because you fear judgment from other people? People you may know, people you may not know. Something that you really know you should be doing, but you haven't. I want you to put that, what you feel in your heart, put that in that bottle in that left hand. Now, I want you to think that imagine that you have a bottle in your right hand now, okay? And in that bottle, I want you to imagine now that you're 75 years old. And I want you to imagine that you're looking back at your life and you're saying to yourself, man, I regret not doing so-and-so. I regret so much not doing what I know I should have done because I was looking for that validation, looking for that approval from people. And I was so afraid of their judgment that looking back now, it seems ridiculous. And now I have this major regret that I can't go back and I can't fix it because now it's too late. It's too late. I want you to take that feeling that's in your heart right now, put it in that bottle in your right hand. And now I want you to put these two bottles side by side. And I want you to now feel which one is heavier in your hands, which one's heavier on your heart, okay? And I want you to feel which one pains you more, okay? Because what that's going to do is that's going to give you clarity. That's going to give you the focus, and that's going to give you the realization of what really matters in your life right now. And this is going to be something that's going to change the rest of your life. I really hope you enjoyed the content in today's podcast. I really hope you got some value out of it. And I definitely want you to come back for more episodes like this. I'm going to be talking more about confidence, mindset, which is so important. Everything revolves back and reverts back to mindset. If you don't have the right dialogue in your mind, if you're not speaking the right language in your mind, things are going to be so much harder. I'm going to be teaching and doing training and podcasts on productivity, on time management, on goals, on habits. I really want the Nolimitspreneur podcast to help as many people out as possible with as much valuable information as possible. So I'm really looking forward to bringing on future guests as well to help share their experiences, their wins, and their struggles to help you get to where you want in life. Thank you again for tuning in. My name is Maher Abiad. You've been listening to another episode of the Nolimitspreneur podcast. I will definitely check you out in the next episode. Good luck, take care, and stay focused.
You've been listening to another quality episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast with your host, Maher Abiad. Want to continue to master your mindset? Download the 7 self-limiting beliefs that are stealing your success away guide for free right now at NoLimitsMindset.com.